Well, it is good to be president. This one is expecting to raise at least $11 million in twin fundraisers today in the Hamptons. The donors are not backing down despite a backlash that involves at least one key donor, Stephen Ross, of course, of Equinox and SoulCycle fame, among other things. He's a multi-billionaire. He and the president go back, we're told, at least 40 years. He doesn't care about the dust-up, but a lot of people who frequent these gym establishments are threatening to leave and not come back. How much of an impact this will have is anyone's guess. We've got Democratic strategist Brad Gerstman. We've got former Ted Cruz campaign pollster, well-connected in Republican circles, Chris Wilson. Gentlemen, welcome to both of you.
Thank you.
The fundraising issue itself, for you, Chris, first, is it going to be a problem for the president?
No, the bottom line is because you've got donors like this don't really care about this type of pressure. They're above it, and if they do care about it, they'll just switch their support over to a super PAC and probably write a larger check because it'll irritate them so much. And when you look at where the president's money is coming from in large swaths, it is amazing the amount of small dollar donations he's eliciting. And I tell you, I'm on his list, and they're already using this as a fundraising technique.
Well, you're a guy I'd certainly want to hit up for today.
Yeah, I don't know how I ended up on it.
Brad, you know?
Yeah.
No.
They're texting, they're emailing.
They didn't reach that low.
They're trying to sell more straws.
So you've heard what Chris said, Brad. Is this the kind of thing that boomerangs? There's always some controversial financier that raises eyebrows. I see it in every election cycle. But this seems a little overdone. But what do you think?
Look, first of all, I like activism. It's part of the Democratic base is the activists. And the fact that we can, stand up and say, hey, you're giving a lot of money and we are customers of yours, and you're giving money to a candidate that we don't like, who might be very divisive, and we're going to do something about it, I think is a terrific thing. I think it's a terrific thing for democracy.
You don't think it's sort of like economic pressure? I mean, there are a lot of conservatives who love Ben & Jerry's ice cream, for example. They know those guys are liberal. They know they wouldn't support a Republican, but they like Chunky Monkey.
And that's great.
I like Chunky Monkey. So
I'm all for the conservative.
That far.
I'm totally cool with the conservative that wants to eat Chunky Monkey. I'm okay with the liberal that wants to go to SoulCycle and puts all this at the fringe.
Doesn't pay attention.
Doesn't matter to them. But on the other hand, if you want this to matter to you and you want to take action, the good thing is we do have visibility into who's making the donations, and then we can expose them, and then the public can do what they want. They make their choices. This is terrific for government, for politics.
But I didn't hear a lot of this going on when Barack Obama was president. I mean, there would be an event, an entertainer would be behind that event. We don't, lash out at the entertainer or go to their movies or not go to their establishments. It just seems this particular wrath is focused on the president.
No, it was actually the other way around. It was, who is Barack Obama taking money from? Okay, it wasn't, who are those, they would blame Barack Obama. Well, you're taking money from this person. You're taking money from that person. That's no good.
Did we go after any of the movie houses whose chieftains get? No, of course we didn't.
Well, there was an attempt to. Come on. I mean, this network did a great job of saying, oh, my God, the liberal left coast, the liberal movie makers, Hollywood extremists, and then everyone makes their decision with all due respect.
But you don't even give them the chance. It's a little bit intimidating here. Now, what I'm wondering about, though, Chris, is whether Republicans...
It's intimidating. Republicans are afraid of the mean, tough Democrats?
Well,
come on.
Let me flip that around.
We're not that scary.
I don't know, depending on the day.
That's
Chris, then do you think Republicans are being consistent on this issue? If you're so upset about this and being the establishment is being targeted because the guy who runs them, albeit even as a passive investor, is giving money to a campaign, when you're going after not you specifically, when you're going after Twitter and now trying to cut business arrangements with Twitter because they took down this whole Mitch McConnell House protest.
Well, took down that. I mean,
you can't have it both ways.
They shut down Mitch McConnell. There's a lot wrapped up in that. Let me just say, first of all, for those who want to protest SoulCycle or Equinox, the only people that are hurting there are the workers, the people who have jobs there. Those are the ones who are hurt, not the owners. The owners he's not going to be able to not afford a new quarterback for the Miami Dolphins next year. He'll be just fine. When it comes down to
that would be a nice effect.
What Twitter did, I think is completely unrelated, because that would be the same as if Fox all of a sudden said, because the Castro brothers exposed and doxed a bunch of their donors, we're no longer going to allow you on our network. You have nothing else you can say on our network. The FCC would come down so hard on Fox immediately for denying someone a voice that you couldn't, that you would be fine overnight.
What I'm nervous
Twitter
about,
is doing
gentlemen,
that.
in both cases is a slippery slope, and I apply this to going after news personalities, either on MSNBC or Fox. Someone says something that offends conservatives, and they hear it on MSNBC, they lead a boycott movement, or you hear the same year, and you target a personality and his or her show. I don't like that either. What I'm just saying is, you're quite right to say, in a free country, you're free to take this to any level you want. I just think it's an extra level of intimidation.
Well, look, I don't disagree there. I mean, there are the point of no return here. And when you start targeting individuals because they say something that you don't like, whether it's a comedian, whether it's a talk show
Don't
host,
watch them.
Don't watch them. Come on.
But when you carry it to the next level where you're going to hurt innocent people who, let's say the guy is just, working at Equinox, or, a trainer working at SoulCycle, what have you. I'm SoulCycle. You can see how well versed I am in this application. But that it goes a little too far.
No, I don't disagree there. And I think our society is reflective of just the divisiveness and our political our political temperature here in this country. It really is bad, and like everything else, there are times we go too far, and that's the nature of having a democratic society. The pendulum swings too far, and then it tries to moderate at some point in time. But yeah, we've seen some really ugly things occur with activists when they take put a target on somebody, and I think later on history will say that we regret having gone along or let them push us around.
And that's what concerns me about what happened with Julian and Joaquin Castro in terms of taking donors' names to Trump, and some of which were his own donors too, and putting those online. And yes, that was public information.
To be fair, that stuff is available.
It is public, but when you go and expose them, that is the true definition of doxing. And now it gives, look, there are some violent groups on the left in this country. They're on the right too, but they're on the left. Antifa being a perfect example that now knows who those people are.
They'll be agitated.
I think it is unfortunate, and it is also one of the fundamental rights we have in this country is the secret ballot. And in essence, what that does is go far and publicly exposes the secret ballot, because you're implying that they were voting for that. And you look at the reason we have the secret ballot is because people were threatened for their jobs were threatened, their careers were threatened, their lives were threatened if they were voting.
But with all due respect, you don't have to give a donation. Yes, your ballot is secret when you vote, but you don't have to give the donation. Once you give the donation, you know that you become public.
Yeah, but the way they expose it is different than putting it up on the FCC website, and I think that is going too far, and it is really concerning.
I think most
if Trump started doing
that, that's going to happen.
Right?
They don't anticipate it's going to happen.
You're quite right. It's accessible.
Right. Look, I stand with Castro in the ability to do that. Look, if something negative comes out of it, then his neck is on the line for doing something like that. But, look, there's risk and return in all of this kind of thing. It is a dangerous game to play, especially in this day and age. But there are serious issues that we have to confront in the next election. So everybody feels that we've put the ante as high as it can get.
All right. Thank you. Final word on that. I want to thank both of you very, very much. Calm, rational debate. It is still possible these days.